It's a new week, a new topic. This one is one made for me. I mean, made for me. Questioning yourself. I'm even questioning how I did the opening today. So I'm all set to talk about questioning yourself. We're going to talk today about when it happens. So think about when you start to question yourself and see if your list matches ours. All that and more coming up on today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, you're on the other side.
Uh-oh. Oof.
Whoa.
It's a Monday morning.
Man, that really, I was starting to question everything.
Can't imagine.
Not just myself, but everything.
Yes, indeed. How are you today?
I'm okay. It is a Monday. You can tell.
There is no doubt it is a Monday. Yes, indeed. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast.
Looks like Steven's playing along with us. Is this real? Where am I? I know the feeling.
Yeah, it was a little.
Thank you, Steven. You made me laugh.
Yes, it was a little
Jarring.
dicey there at the start. Anyhow, as I mentioned, this is today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast, where each morning we have a conversation around a topic. As Bob mentioned, this week's topic is questioning yourself, and we'll discuss when it happens today. And as we go through that conversation, if you have thoughts or ideas that you'd like to share, please feel free to put them in the comments. Whether you happen to be watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or...
Oh, wait, I'm so far. I was reading a comment. Wait, go back. Do it again. Do it again.
So... whether you please feel free to comment if you have thoughts. Maybe you're like, what are you two doing? You can put that in the comments if you would like. Whether you are watching us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or
LinkedIn Live, baby. Did I tell you, by the way, Tom, you need to go to LinkedInLiveBaby.com.
Really?
Yes. See where it takes you.
All right. I will do that when we get done with this show.
Okay.
Knowing you a little bit,
I
have a feeling I know who owns that domain.
This you may.
Heavens. There is a thing on there where people can check like where you have automatic payments that you may have forgotten about, like annual renewal things that you might want to look into that, because I have a feeling that you and GoDaddy have a nice relationship.
We do indeed. I think it's down to 41 domains though. But part of it was when I have clients and we're trying to pick a brand, we'll buy a whole bunch. Like I worked with a group of fitness centers, martial arts studios. We bought 12 domains because we found names we liked and we held on to them because, you want to make sure you get the one you like. If you tell anyone, they might scoop it up. I've had it happen. So
yeah, and I hear that if you start searching them on GoDaddy, people see that, and then they
raise the price. Steven's tracking with us more comments. He ran this morning while live on Facebook with his puppy dogs. I did a Facebook Live this morning. I don't know if you saw it, Tom, but I ran and did one of my thoughts while running.
Excellent.
And Steven also says that, hit the wrong button. The next comment from Steven was that you should get MySpace, Tom.
Well, I could work on that. Yeah. All right, let's get back to this. Okay. So at the end of our conversation, Bob and I will each offer our one thing, our today's antidote. That thing that we hope will help you maybe today or maybe somewhere down the road when you are stuck and trying to figure out how to take your next step. And of course, if you have a one thing you'd like to share, please feel free to put that in the comments as well. Before we get to our conversation around our topic today, though, every morning we start out with our celebrations. Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I'm celebrating the fact that Stephen's with us this morning, and he's got a question for us. I'm going to jump in with, if I may, Tom. My boss gave me a long hour to finish by starting Monday. I'm waiting, and then I stayed up all night drinking energy drinks. I still haven't started. Any ideas what I should do?
Well, I would either one of two things. If it's due by the end of the day, I might, depending how long the project's going to take a quick nap, and then set my alarm, get up at 11 or whatever time, and then do it. Or dive right into it now. Those would be one of my two choices.
I like both of those options. I've got a bigger question that Stephen might want to look at, and that's why was he assigned something that he wasn't capable of doing, or is it something he doesn't like doing? And I would be more interested in the root cause of why he didn't do it. Is it he didn't have the capacity or capabilities, or it just wasn't something he's ever done before? Because usually when we don't do something, it's because of some core reason. And so I would say this will come up again if you don't figure out what that core reason is.
Or maybe prioritized other things. It's possible.
Correct. Although if he was drinking energy drinks and doing things, that would suggest to me that he was ready to, thinking about doing it. So there you go, Stephen. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. And now I celebrate Stephen being with us this morning. Tom, what are you celebrating?
My celebration today is that I got on the lacrosse field yesterday. Woo-hoo. Just some club fall lacrosse, but it was nice to run around.
Or did you play?
No, it didn't play. I was officiating. I was officiating, yes.
Well,
and the weather was
lacrosse all the time.
I haven't been on the field outside officiating probably in a month and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So it was a great opportunity to be on the field again, run up and down a little bit, get some exercise, and prepare for a college fall ball game I have later this week. So.
Oh, okay. We've gotten to college fall ball already.
Yes. And I got a little sun.
I see that.
I couldn't find my hat, which was unfortunate. Because it looked like a cloudy day. There? The sun popped out and was nice for a while.
You couldn't wear a Buffalo Bills hat?
I prefer to wear just a black hat.
Okay.
On the field.
Okay. All right.
The Buffalo Bills hat, while I would proudly wear that.
Even though they lost.
It's a loss. It's a learning experience, an opportunity to figure out what's their next step is. And it wouldn't necessarily match with the professionalism that I like to show on the field.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Nice. So
all righty, Bob. So now we dive into our topic around questioning yourself. When it happens. Any thoughts?
So many. This might be a long program. So I question myself all the time. I don't think I'm alone. The bigger the decision, the sooner I question myself. But I find myself questioning myself a lot. And often I find that it happens very quickly, and it happens when I have a moment to pause. So last week I was doing a presentation to a couple of people, and at one point they had a phone call they had to take. We were doing a Zoom meeting, and they said, "I'm really sorry, Bob, this is something important. Can we mute you for a couple of minutes?" And we're going to have to do it. Sure, fine. While they were going through that phone call, I was questioning everything I had said up to that point. Did I say the right stuff? Did I give them the right topic ideas? Did I do this, do this? And I found myself, when they came back, almost paralyzed because I had so much doubt around questioning myself, even though it was a very simple thing. It was a very basic thing. And oddly enough, on that phone call, I was the expert. They were coming to me like, "What do you think we should do?"
Oddly enough. Why was it oddly enough?
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. See, there I'm questioning myself subtly, internally. Yeah, exactly. As I tell the story, and even as I'm telling the story now, I'm thinking, should this be the story I tell?
Seems like it's appropriate.
Yeah. I hope.
So,
yes.
do we want to get into a question and answer session, or?
Sure, I'm good with that. Go ahead.
So why?
This
Why do
would
you
be
think?
the coaching thing, right?
Yeah, that's yes.
Okay. I'm
So why?
good with that.
Why would you start questioning yourself just because they took a phone call?
Because I had the time to think about what I'd said up to that point.
Could you change what you had said at that point?
I could recast it later when they came back.
Did they question what you had shared so far?
Not a
make
word
you
of it.
doubt?
Nope. They were totally on board.
Okay. So I guess I'm curious why you weren't spending your time thinking about what else you had to say.
I don't have an answer for you, Tom.
Well, it's interesting because I think that as we, what is questioning ourselves?
It's self-doubt.
It's also checking on what we believe results are. Is that fair?
Yes.
Why would you question yourself if you felt like, hey, I'm offering them really good value? I'm just waiting now to give them more. Instead of like, maybe they aren't responding to it. Maybe the signal they gave thought that they weren't, like, if they weren't giving signals, why would you start to question what you had already given?
Right. Well, I think the thing about questioning ourselves is, for me at least, when I'm questioning myself the most is when I'm most sharing what I believe with people. And it could be challenged. I think most people that know me, I think there are probably some people that will watch this and be like, wow, I thought Bob was really confident. I've been called arrogant. I've been called confident. I've been called cocky a number of times. I can portray myself as I know exactly what I'm doing. And many times I do, but there are also times where I'm not as comfortable with things. And usually when I'm uncomfortable with things, it's either because I don't have the confidence in myself, or I don't have the connection with the other people to really understand exactly how I can help them. Does that make any sense at all?
Yes. And do you believe that every time you share your value, you're helping someone?
I'd like to think so.
Why would you not? You're sharing the value that likely they don't have.
Assuming it's value, right? I mean, I think that's what the core issue is here, really, Tom. When we question ourselves, it's not questioning myself, it's questioning my value. Oh, man.
If you were willing to share it.
This is going to make my career more interesting.
Well, the question is, what does value mean? Were you sharing your knowledge?
Right?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who defines it?
Well, are you sharing your knowledge, experience, and perspective?
Yes.
Is that valuable?
It's in the eye of the beholder, right?
I'm going to disagree on that. I think that's up to you. You decide. You can't control whether they think it's valuable or not. Is that fair?
So if I had this discussion with these two people and I gave what I felt was valuable, but it wasn't of any use to them.
Can you control that?
No, I guess I can.
You can't. What if you got to the point where you said, I believe I'm doing the best I can in the moment to share my knowledge, experience, and perspective. And there is value to that. Someone who you're sharing it with may not see that value at the moment. That doesn't mean it's not valuable. And if you don't know that they think it's not valuable, you're making the best decision you can make. You're sharing what you think is your knowledge, experience, and perspective to help someone. There is value in that. They may not see it. Just as we said in the past, is that results are a moment in time. They may come back later and be like, I didn't see it at the time. And now I see that what Bob was sharing had some impact on me. And actually was more valuable than I thought. Is that possible?
Yes. And I guess with this program, we share our value, and honestly, we don't know where it goes, what happens with it. Nor can we control it.
Nor can we control it. All we can
There are times
do.
when people tell me it really made a difference to them, and there are times where occasionally someone says, I listened one time, I just didn't see it as really useful. Okay.
It's one person's
come
perspective.
back every weekday and do another one.
Yes, you could take that feedback and say we're not doing this anymore because I don't think it's valuable.
I think in the early weeks I had some of those days.
And yet I'm always amazed with how many people, they don't watch it all the time.
Right.
And they share there's of some value. I had somebody this weekend when I was up at Hamilton say to me, I took a trip up to my alma mater because I'm an alumni volunteer, and say they just can't believe how committed I am to doing this every day. And we talked a little bit about how beneficial it is for me. I said, and I think that I share some value. I believe that. Who sees it, who takes it in, who agrees, I can't control. And so, and this is someone I would have imagined because I see because I'm friends with them on Facebook and connected on LinkedIn. So I would imagine at some point they're going to at least be like, wait, what's the show? What am I? May have an impact on them or may not. And to the point of where the person was like, I really wish that I could have that accountability to myself to do something that for that long on that regular of a basis. So even though they didn't really listen, they may not have listened at all to the content, just seeing the consistency of it is valuable.
Tom, I'm going to jump in with my sister Beth, and I want you to note, Tom, this is very important. Notice whose name goes first here. just saying.
Why are you questioning someone in the morning who just happens to be typing?
I think you have a big friend there. I'm just saying, which is great. Good morning, Tom and Bob. I think in this case, questioning yourself can cause you to overthink, and then you question why you were overthinking. Oh boy, so true. You are turning it from easy to making it harder for yourself to make a decision, which causes you to become uncertain with your decision, or is your choice correct or not? Yes, exactly. It's like she was inside my head. It's almost like we had the same mother. Just saying. See what I did there?
I did see what you did there. Thank you, Beth, for the comment.
That was funny.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just Monday.
Well,
it's the endorphins from my run. I'm pretty sure.
Because I think a lot of it is about worrying about the expected results and then worrying about results, the actual results you get, all of which you can't control. I think if we can get to the point where we believe that we're sharing value, if we have taken the time to think about it and aren't being reckless, that we are sharing what is from us. And again, if we're not doing it in a spiteful way, if we're actually doing it to try to help someone, how do we know ultimately what they are going to find valuable? We don't. All we can do is share what we have. And if we allow someone else to make us question the value that we share, what's going to happen?
Yeah. And it's funny you brought up
what's going to happen.
They're going to happen. You're right.
We're going to stop sharing, which means somebody who's desperately looking for what we have, or the value that we have, won't receive it because we are worried about questioning what the results are going to be when we share it.
Yes. So true. You brought up the whole being risky, and I was watching a football game yesterday. I think it was the late game. The who is it? The Packers and whoever they were playing, and the quarterback threw a pass, and it was into the defenders. And he said, "You got to throw the ball, but you don't want to be reckless." And I immediately thought of you. Go, boy.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to take some risk that's not going to work out in your favor. Sometimes.
Yes. And more often than not, when you take the risk, you do get some reward.
Well, I think the other thing too is you learn, right?
Yes.
with the risk that you take, you start to learn more. If you never take any risk, how will you ever learn? Because all you'll do is the same thing that you've always done, which means you'll likely get similar results.
You have no idea how powerful that last 3 sentences were to me in some way.
Fair enough.
Need to hear that this morning. So, Tom,
All right.
as we get to the wrapping up, what do you have for one thing today?
Well, when I think about questioning yourself and when it happens, I think it happens because we're worried about the results that we're having. And again, usually results that aren't confirmed. Sometimes people will, have you ever done a Zoom where, and I imagine it's interesting as you talked about that. I wonder if what was going through your head when they said they had to take a phone call was, my content must not be value enough for them to skip the phone call.
Oh, completely. 1,000%.
That if they had not done anything like that, you would have just been like, oh, okay, great. Because you were like, well, I guess it wasn't that important. What I was sharing, something else was more important. And do you know that for a fact?
No. It turned out it was an emergency that they had to take just because they're the person who deals with that.
Yeah. So I think those are the things that we don't know. So why try to guess what someone else is thinking, believing, whether they're finding value in it or not? Instead, just continue to share your value to the best of your ability. And know that even though they may not find value in it immediately, there's a pretty good chance that somewhere down the road, they'll think back and be like, huh. Have you ever done that, Bob?
Yeah, I have.
So the likelihood that is if we've done it, many of the people that we've shared our value with have done the same thing.
I'm going to hit the exclamation mark button on that and just say that I'm going to go back and listen to what Tom just said. That would be the perfect one thing for me. You said it very well. I needed to hear it. I love the idea of sharing your value. As long as we're sharing our value, that's what it is. It's not about the results. We can't control those results. And by the way, Tom, thank you for that really nice coaching session. And if you're someone who's never been coached before, you saw how easy it is. It's not like Tom told me I was a knucklehead. It's not like Tom told me I didn't know what I was talking about. He just asked me questions to help me clarify what I'm thinking and why I'm thinking it. And so if that's something of interest to you, please talk to one of us. We'd be happy to talk to you about what coaching looks like, what our Renegade Success Network looks like, what we can do to help you build whatever you're trying to build so you can go down your unique pathway towards success, whatever that looks like.
Yes. All right. Thanks, everyone, for being with us today. Again, please, if you have one thing you'd like to share, please feel free to put it in the comments because we know it could add value to someone else. If you happen to be listening to the podcast, we know that unfortunately there is no way to share comments there. So we would encourage you to, if you're a LinkedIn person, go to our LinkedIn group, Renegade Success Network for Leaders. You can just search that in LinkedIn and join it if you're not already a member and share your thoughts and ideas there because we'll be talking about questioning yourself all week. If you're a Facebook person, you can also go to our Facebook group, the Ring of Renegades, and share it there. Because again, we will also be sharing and discussing those in either of those groups. So we look forward to seeing you inside one of those groups, or we'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time for our next episode of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, thank you, Stephen and Beth, for your contributions. And folks, take some time today to embrace the renegade in you. It will be worth it.
And keep sharing your value because someone out there is desperately seeking for exactly what you have to share. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.